Hi everybody and welcome to the Creative Corner, where we get an opportunity to speak to new and published authors about their books, about their vision and obviously about them. And as always, joining me, the Flash.
Hey buddy, good, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We've been under the pump the last few weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, we have actually. Well observed.
Well observed. From me to you? Or?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's great. It's been a good thing. It means that the word of what we're trying to achieve with authors is getting out there and on an international level. And that's fulfilling what we want, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. What we want is to help authors everywhere get their story out into the world and help them unleash their creativity in the best way possible with the best team possible. So yeah, it's exactly what we want.
And we're always looking to align our vision with that of the author. Something that we're quite passionate about is to walk the journey with them and help them achieve their vision. And joining us today is Xenia Schembri, who has published 4 books.
I have.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? Where have you come from? What's the story?
As you can hear, I come from England, southwest England, Western Supermare, and I came to Australia in 2010, and that's where I come from. And I have a journey that I have walked, and it's now become a book.
It has. We'll talk a bit about that in a moment. But you, this is the thing, is I'm 1 year after Zine. So I came to Australia in 2011. So we're basically adopted Australians. You okay with that?
I have a certificate to say so.
Do you have a
that's
certificate?
all right then.
I do.
Are you a citizen?
I am.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe
I married an Aussie, so I'm kind of halfway there anyway.
Right.
So before we get into the questions, I do have to ask, did he actually say your name right?
Well, I never noticed he said it wrong, so he must have.
Oh, is that a backhanded compliment or what?
It's a hard name.
You really?
Everybody gets it wrong. I mean, first of all, I say Xenia and I got an I in it, so that's the first bit everyone gets confused about.
I always call you Zane.
I know you do. That's what people who know me and who like me call me. Yeah, if I'm in trouble, it's Xenia. Yeah.
But I've known you like 3-4 years, and it's only recently I've got your last name right, which is not a good thing when you're working closely with an author.
And by recently, you mean
You
the
meant
last
this
10
morning.
minutes.
Ask a question, Flash.
All right, from that, tell us where the idea for these amazing little books, the Brave Little Bear series, tell us where this came from.
Well, as I said, I had a bit of a journey, and 4 of my children were sexually abused by their natural father, and I found it very hard to come to terms with the fact that I could not have protected my children. I was in a 15-year domestic violent relationship with him, and I found that I was so broken I didn't know how to protect my children. So on the other side of that, I want to equip as many families as possible with self-protective behaviours. I couldn't protect my own, but I will protect as many of them as I can. That's my passion. So I've got a big vision. I want to see a set of these books in every school, a primary classroom in Australia, and that's my heart. So that's what drives me.
You've actually set up a charity to help make that happen. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So the charity is called At the Ark Inc. Ark in the original it means life preserver, and that's what we want to be for families, a life preserver. When we were going through it, we had no idea what was happening. We didn't know if our children's behaviour was normal, whether it was crazy, what was going on. I felt like I didn't have any help and nowhere to turn. And so I want to be that for other people. With that came our prevention, which is Brave Little Bear. And book 1 is for 3 to 7-year-olds, and it just gently introduces the story of Brave Little Bear and what he's been through, what he did, how he felt, and how he could change that situation. And Brave Little Bear book 2, which is Too Big Not to Share, is for 6 to 12 to 13-year-olds, and that book is probably my favourite book. It talks about fear feelings, online safety. It talks about body consent, the difference between secrets and surprises, and how I really am passionate about changing the vocabulary around using the word secret and surprise, changing it. It is such an important book to teach our children. And then book 3 came along where Brave Little Bear wrote a brave big letter and to all safe bears, safe adults that can really just empower our children.
How have they gone? How have they been received?
Oh my gosh, amazingly, really. We've sold over 2,500 books. We now sell them as a set, and I have so many good reviews, and people write to me and say, oh my goodness, this helped me with this helped my son with bullying. You know, it helped him explain bullying to me. He was going through stuff at school, and he said, just like Brave Little Bear. And so it's not just for the sexual abuse, it can be used in lots of different areas, especially book 2. And it's so, I get overwhelmed by some of the comments that I get from it.
I can imagine, yeah, overwhelming. I was just thinking while you were talking, I was just thinking like, this is exactly the concept, supporting why we do what we do. You know, using your creativity for you as a vehicle for creating a message and a platform, really a platform, for creating good in the world. And it's so powerful, like, it gives me goosebumps, and especially, yeah, I'm sure it would be really overwhelming to hear that feedback, because it becomes something else out there in the world. You know, it becomes something else to somebody else. You know, you're saying about this young little boy who uses it for bullying, you know, dealing with bullying, not just, you know, the original intent. So it's so cool, it's so powerful.
You know that we actually produce these books at cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always have. We've always made sure that we've supported at the Ark on what you've been doing, and it's something that, you know, we do take pride in, supporting the local communities' initiatives and making our environment and community safer. And we commend you for it, the Ark, you and Simon, and it's always been something that I myself and Vicky Jane and obviously now the team at ORP are very proud to be associated with. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. And I guess I have a bit of a question for you. Do you think Brave Little Bear helped you get your story, your actual personal story out, which is obviously the next book that we have to talk about?
Well, actually, I started writing Broken to Be Beautiful in 2012.
Okay.
That's right. I remember the story.
When I decided I was going to write Brave Little Bear, it was 4 years, it was 2016, and I went to Fiji, and I could see the hurt in the children's eyes in the schools over there. And I came home and I thought, what can I do to make a difference? And I knew that there was something more that I needed to do. And so I thought, write a children's book. But I've been writing my book for 4 years, and in my head, I was thinking, I am not a writer. I can't even finish my own book. How can I possibly now start on another project? But went ahead and did it. It took a little bit of arguing with myself, and in the end, I just went for it. And the 3 books came out relatively easily, and I surprised myself. That gave me the confidence, perhaps, to finish my Broken to Be Beautiful book. When I launched the 3 books last September, I had actually put the Broken to Be Beautiful book down, and I didn't think I was going to pick it back up again. And the MC at that night, Andy Cullen, he said to me, he told everybody I was writing my story, and I was thrown on the spot. I was like, I want to kick you right now. I don't even like you right now. and I waffled my way through the question, and then I think, Ocean, you said something about my book as well, and I was not happy, and I went home, and I said to my husband, I said to Simon, I'm over this. I'm sick and tired of people telling me I have to write my story. That's it. I'm done. And that night, I had a nightmare. And sometimes, because of my past, I still suffer with nightmares. And I had a nightmare. And I normally just put music in my ears and go back to sleep. And tonight, the first song that came on, or that night, the first song that came on was Write Your Story by Xenia Schembri. And I was like, damn it. I gotta write this story. And so when Simon woke up later on, a few hours later in the middle of the night, he was like, what are you doing? And I was sitting there with the typewriter, with the typewriter, gosh, that's showing my age.
That's old school. No wonder he woke up with a typewriter.
With my computer on my lap, typing away, and he was like, what are you doing? I was apparently writing my story.
Oh, that's fantastic.
2 weeks later, it was written.
That was one thing that was quite interesting to me, is that because I've travelled the Brave Little Bear journey with you, and then when you went into writing this book, I had an expectation of when I'd likely see a manuscript, but you nailed it. It came out so fast. So a lot of that would have been because, well, obviously it's your story, but you also had in the back of your mind how it was going to be told, yeah?
Yes, I suppose I did. It changed over the time, I think. You have an expectation at the beginning, and first of all it was just putting my ramblings down, it was just putting stuff down and seeing if I could unravel anything. And so many people had said to me, I need to tell my story, I need to get it into a book, and I was like, well, if I can just get it down, maybe it'll help me. But it wasn't until I finished it that I actually realised what an amazing job I'd done. You know, it wasn't a planned thing. It was just, okay, I'm throwing it all out on paper, and you can do what you like with it, and see what happens, what came out.
Do you think that process taught you something about yourself? The process of just throwing it all on paper and seeing what happened?
I've always been naturally creative. I've always...
Obviously.
And yeah, that's right. Naturally, I am kind of a person that likes to put things down. I've journaled a lot. I wrote stories when I was younger and things like that. But it taught me that I am better than I think, because I really didn't believe in myself very much. And writing that book and bringing it to life as it is, it's really helped me see that actually I'm a whole lot further along my journey than I actually think I am.
Oh, hell yes.
And I can do a lot more than I think I can.
I mean, I'm just going to speak from my experience in the time that I've known you, but I know that you speak regularly on stage. I know that you obviously run this charity. You've published 4 books. You've raised a multitude of children. And you run a household, and you know, that's the hardest job in the world has been a mother. But to then combine it with everything else that you've decided to put on your plate, and then find time to come and sit down with us, you know, this is no weak feat, Zine. It's quite phenomenal to achieve what you've done, and also to share this story for the world to read. And it is the world to read because we're fulfilling orders all around the world, as you sent me one yesterday, which has gone out. And yeah, it's a really, really amazing process. Speaking of process, and Flash just touched on writing, you have published 4 books. How's it been? What have you learned? What was it like? And feel free to lay it on the table, even though I've been involved in all 4. Be nice.
Well, it's been awesome.
Has it?
Because I've had an awesome team behind me. I had no idea what I was doing. When I phoned you up the very first time I spoke to you about Brave Little Bear, and I phoned you up and I said, look, I am green, I have no idea. And it was quite funny because I wanted Brave Little Bear published in 6 weeks' time, because I had a big event that I wanted to hand out to people. And I said to Ocean, right, okay, you tell me, what do I need to do to get this done in 6 weeks? And he said, right, I want everything at me by the end of next week. This was like the Wednesday, and he said the following Friday. And I was like, I haven't even got an illustrator. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even know this.
Really?
I had nothing.
Now it all comes out.
I had just the writing. That was it.
Really?
That was it. And so I went into a mad, crazy frenzy trying to get this done. And you was like, I want this and I want that and I want, but you laid it out so clearly of what I wanted, what I needed to get it done. It made it a whole lot easier once I found the illustrator, who was perfect.
Was there a difference between publishing Brave Little Bear than to publishing your story?
Yes. I actually found the process so much easier with Brave Little Bear. Maybe because I was flying on the seat of my pants and just letting it go and just thinking if it gets done, it gets done. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm so much more invested in that because it's my story.
You're now a 4-time published author.
4-time.
4-time, I'll just say that again. 4 times. What's next?
You never know, it might be 5th. No, I don't know. I'm working on something.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
Crazy authors, you gotta love it.
I am working on something. I don't know when that will be. Probably another 12 years down the road, but you never know. My big thing now is I want to get a set of Brave Little Bear in every classroom in Australia. That is my big vision, and I know it's huge, and I know it's going to be hard.
What a noble goal. We call that the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. That's a pretty noble BHAG.
Can I just say that there's a stat that I've only just done the maths to for a grant, and 3,651,000 children entered the education system last year, in 2018. Okay, 1 in 5 of those will be sexually abused before they are 18. So, if your child started school this January, I went back to my English stage then, September, in January, if they started school this January, by the time they leave school when they're 18, 730,000 of their peers across Australia will be sexually abused. That is 56,000 children in the education system every year, every single year. To me, that is not good enough.
That's unacceptable.
That's horrific.
I hate those stats. I hate those numbers. I don't do maths very well, and they floor me when I see things like that. That is why I want them in every primary school classroom.
Wow. That's... Yeah.
I mean, I know we're not the only people on the planet that hear numbers like that and just get a little bit pissed, you know, and it, again, as a parent, it just is horrifying to hear, to think that that's the sort of numbers we're looking at.
Not that I want to lighten the mood, because it is such a, it is a heavy topic, but it's something that needs to be discussed. The next step, though, is to ask you, what is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal?
Yes.
Oh, do you know what? I think I have 2.
2? Okay.
I do.
Do
It
tell.
depends what mood I'm in. I could be a lion, where I'm roaring and you watch me roar, with Brave Little Bear.
Yep.
I could be a pussycat.
I'm imagining like Puss in Boots. You know, how it's like total,
Oh, I'm not wearing my
total daredevil. But then
Actually,
he
my
turns around
husband
and goes,
hates cats. That's probably not a good example. It's probably really not. He's allergic to cats. I'd be in dead trouble,
okay.
wouldn't I? So anyway, but lion, definitely a lion.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's something that you've known about us for a while, and specifically myself, is that we embrace the superhero. The whole purpose behind that is hope, belief and faith in our creative expression, and we obviously want to create superhero authors. Now, a couple of people might have picked up on this through the video, but my next question is, what superhero would you be and why?
I don't even know how that's even a question.
Hey.
I mean, honestly, my name's Xenia.
It's a bit
It's just
easy.
a given, really.
You're wearing the Warrior Princess t-shirt today. Yes. That's fantastic. So, no, that's really good. And I mean, it is a bit of a shift to go from the questions and the discussions we were having and then ask those questions. But part of what we're trying to do is understand the person behind making these books happen. That's what these interviews are for. And find their vision and their drive. And, you know, you are more than just an advocate for this. You are a human being and a mum and a wife. And, you know, it's good to find out what sort of things make you giggle, like cats and lions and stuff. No.
Puss in Boots. That's
Puss in Boots.
That's my takeaway from today.
Puss in Boots, all right. Now, guys, this is a very important one. You've got a couple of links on the screen there. One is to go straight to Zine's website and get yourself a copy of that, okay? So please jump on board, go and get a copy of that. And the link below that is to the At the Arc website, so you can go and get a set of these, have a look through the resources that they're offering on the website. And Zine, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Awesome. See you guys next time.